You guys are going to love this one. The CEO of Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, just called out Jamie Dimon on live TV. And he's going to lay out the exact reason why these big banks are fighting so dang hard to stop America from having the rules of the road in the Clarity Act passed. So for you guys that are new here, my name is Zach Rector. We cover current events, financial markets, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. We have a new interview from Brad Garlinghouse that we're going to break down here for you guys today. And then as a reminder, we'll be back live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern for our live show. We go live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, every Thursday at 10 p.m. Eastern for the late night party, full market breakdown and Q&A session. Hope to see you guys there. Now let's get into it. Brad Garlinghouse, and we're running out of legislative sessions until the August recess, and we're hoping that we can get this Clarity Act across the finish line. Let's see what Brad Garlinghouse has to say right here.
And let me just say that Galaxy is predicting a 60% chance that the Clarity Bill passes before the August recess. That's lower than a previous estimate. But you heard what Jamie Dimon said to me. He's not happy with the Clarity Act. He doesn't like the fact that the crypto companies will be able to pay rewards. He's going to fight it and continue fighting it. He doesn't believe Brian Armstrong at Coinbase is representing the industry. What is your take from Ripple's standpoint?
Well, first, I think you have to recognize that Jamie Dimon has been dismissing this industry for a decade. He's called it a Ponzi scheme. He's called Bitcoin a pet rock. And if you look at JPMorgan, they generate $20 billion of revenue from their payments business and over $5 billion of profit.
And that right there is the key number, right? 20 billion in revenue, 5 billion in profit from their payments business. This is what they're scared of.
I think Jamie Dimon also should be clear that, he is trying to protect and dig a deeper moat for a business that's extremely profitable for them, and they want to kind of maintain the status quo. So I think, as much as we could talk about whether or not Brian Armstrong is representing the industry, he's not. He's representing Coinbase, and in certain ways, he's going to look out for Coinbase's best interest. But at the end of the day, I think what Jamie Dimon did a disservice around when he did that interview with you, which I think was a great interview, is that he's representing that this reduces compliance concerns, or it actually makes it easier to do bad things. And that's just not true. It's either intentionally misrepresentation or even negligent to try to make support for the Clarity Act go away.
And so there you have it, folks. Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, calling out CEO of JPMorgan, Jamie Dimon. And he gets right to the main issue right here, which is they make $20 billion in revenue from their payments business, and that correlates to $5 billion that they stuff in their pockets. Right? And as stablecoins grow in adoption, it starts to cut away, right? It starts to take away from that moat that Brad Garlinghouse, he describes it as a moat that's already deep. It's already very, very, productive and works well for JPMorgan. And they don't want to allow Coinbase, they don't want to allow Ripple to have a piece of that. And then you transition to Jamie Dimon saying that this, takes away from compliance. And that is the exact opposite of what's been happening, especially with leaders like Ripple, who's been advocating, begging for rules of the road so that, crypto can operate within compliance and all the regulatory frameworks. Now, why does this matter for the XRP holders that would be watching this video here today? Brad was very clear that Ripple is focused on enterprise adoption and that without clarity, we can't unlock this US market. He explains how you have nervous CFOs and bank executives who are finally starting to lean into this technology, starting to go live, not just with proof of concepts, but starting to actually, move value on chain and start to move liquidity flows on chain. And this brings us back to what we talked about in this morning's update. If you missed it, go check it out, titled Ripple Activates XRP DEX. What Ripple activated this morning was their partnership with Bitso that is now going to be moving flows of liquidity between Bitso's Mexican peso and Ripple's RLUSD. It's now coming to the permissioned DEX on the XRP ledger. See, this is the exact type of compliance and on-chain regulated activity that's already taking place on the XRP ledger, and that starts to cut into Jamie Dimon's profit. And that's a little problem for him, right? It's a big problem, multi-billion-dollar problem, right? And if you collectively look at this, they're protecting interests that amount to trillions of dollars of interest, whether it be revenue or profits that these banksters get to take home. Now, one other part later in this interview, and I'll put the link for the full interview in the comments down below if you guys want to watch the full interview. But the other piece that I wanted to touch on is he was asked directly about the new AI starter kit that Ripple announced yesterday. And I just want to note here that this is, Mornings with Maria on Fox Business, and they're specifically mentioning and talking about the XRP ledger, not just Ripple payments, not just Ripple, the company, AI starter kit on the XRP ledger. And it's music to my ears to hear the XRP ledger mentioned on Fox Business, because this takes us past Ripple. It takes us past XRP and speculation and focused on price. And it gets us to what we've been trying to take this conversation to the whole time: real utility, real use case, solving real problems. Problems that, are trillion-dollar payment flows, which the banks want to protect for themselves, right? And so to bring this all together, Brad Garlinghouse, you see the confidence. He comes on to Fox Business this morning, not afraid to call out Jamie Dimon, JPMorgan, for exactly what this is: a turf war over the profits that they can generate from their payments business. Stablecoins cut into that. And instead of allowing America to have progress and to become the crypto capital of the world, these banksters are more interested in the profit that they get to stuff into their pockets. And regulatory clarity is the key that unlocks the institutional money that we've been wanting to come on the XRP ledger, that we've been wanting to come onto the Stellar chain, that we want to come onto HBAR or whatever other network you've invested in and you believe in, right? And so we're right here at the finish line. A lot of talk on whether or not, and the big thing that we're waiting for right now, what to look out for next, is the scheduled floor vote, right? That's what we're waiting for. There's a lot of talk. I see Senator Lummis putting out tweets every day. But until we get that floor time scheduled for the floor vote, it's all talk. And we need some action in DC. I know, it's frustrating, right? And then finally, agentic payments and the AI economy coming to the XRP ledger, and that being a talking point on Fox Business. I want you guys to just recognize how much further along we are in this conversation about the XRP ledger and XRP utility on Fox Business. Not Ripple, not ETFs, not speculation, not price, utility. And this AI agentic economy is going to bring massive amounts of utility to the XRP ledger. So with that being said, you guys can check out the full interview with Brad. I'm going to link it on down below. I encourage you guys to go check it out. If you guys want to see the full scoop, Brad always does such a fantastic job of representing Ripple. But before we check out here today, I want to get in a word from our sponsor, iTrust Capital. If you guys haven't heard of them yet, you need to be made aware. Fantastic resource. And the main reason why we partnered up with them, this is the only sponsor that I have, is because they have the IRA product for your retirement funds. You can roll over that 401k. You can roll over another retirement fund that you may have, and you can start that iTrust Capital IRA today. You can self-direct your investments. You're not going to have to pay fees to some manager. It's all free institutional grade custody. Nobody's going to be, pulling away, stripping fees and pulling value out of your portfolio here. Absolutely free institutional grade custody. And with that IRA, you potentially, right, either in the tax deferred structure or in the tax-free environment, if it's the Roth IRA, you could start to build your wealth with this iTrust Capital IRA and potentially never have to pay taxes on it again if you're using that Roth IRA. If you're using the traditional IRA, that would be a tax-deferred account. But get in touch with the team at iTrust Capital. They provide U.S.-based customer support. And when you use my link down below, you'll get a $100 funding bonus. So use my link, get your account funded, get an extra $100 that you can use to go buy another 100 or so XRP, right above $1. Maybe if you wait to get that buy order in, you can get 100 XRP when we drop below $1. But go get that extra $100 funding bonus when you create that new account with iTrust Capital and check out their platform. We really appreciate their support and how they take care of our community. With that being said, if you guys appreciate the update, let's smack it for me on the way out. Come on back live tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you guys have subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. We're going to keep it coming. Tomorrow's the big SpaceX IPO, so stay tuned. We're not done with a very busy week already. Okay? Thank you. God bless. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.